Hello and welcome back to the Passport to Crime podcast, the podcast where we journey through the shadows of history to uncover the stories that demand to be remembered. I'm Oakley, and today we're joined by a truly extraordinary guest, author, artist and true crime expert, William A. Noguera.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. This case is deeply tragic, and its impact is still felt. I'm grateful for the opportunity to help tell it with the care it deserves.
William spent nearly 40 years on death row at San Quentin prison before his conviction and sentence were reversed in early 2022. During that time, he became a renowned and award-winning author, painter and speaker. His memoir, Escape Artist, Memoir of a Visionary Artist on Death Row, is a powerful testament to transformation and resilience. But Williams's work goes far beyond personal redemption.
That's right. While incarcerated, I studied the minds of serial killers, living among them, earning their trust, and compiling an archive of insights that had never been seen before. It's not just about profiling. It's about understanding the psychology, the patterns, and the silence that surrounds these crimes.
William's new book, Through the Lens of a Monster, solves 5 previously unknown serial killer murders and breaks the riddle of one of the world's most prolific killers. His work with FBI investigator Ken Maines led to the creation of the YouTube series Unsolved No More, Redemption from Death Row, and a television series with executive producer Dick Wolf, due out in 2025.
It's been a long journey, but every case I study, every story I tell, is about giving voice to the victims and helping communities heal. That's why today's case matters so deeply.
Now let's take a look at the last day. Today's episode takes us to Brighton, England, in a case that haunted a generation, reshaped a community, and left behind a legacy of grief and resilience. This is the story of Nicola Fellows and Karen Hadaway, 2 young girls whose lives were stolen in 1986. In what became known as the Babes in the Wood murders.
It's one of those cases that really never leaves the public consciousness. The names, the park, the fear, it all became part of Brighton's DNA.
Before we begin, a brief but important disclaimer. This episode contains descriptions of child murder, sexual violence and trauma. Listener discretion is strongly advised. We approach this case with the utmost sensitivity and respect for the victims and their families, and the community affected.
If you find this content distressing, please consider listening with support or skipping this episode. Our goal is to honor the memory of Nicola and Kieren, not to sensationalize their suffering.
Let's take a look at that last day. It was the 9th of October 1986. 10-year-old Nicola Fellows and her best friend 9-year-old Karen Hadaway were playing after school on the Muscle Combe estate in Brighton. Neighbours saw them together, laughing, carefree. This was the last time they were seen alive.
The next morning, their bodies were found in Wild Park. They had been raped and strangled, huddled together in death, just as they had been in life. The brutality of the crime stunned the nation.
Wild Park, once a place of play, became a symbol of fear. Parents would warn their children, don't go near the park. The phrase, Babes in the Wood, became a chilling shorthand for a tragedy that would echo for decades.
And it wasn't just a murder. It was chaos, a loss of innocence for an entire generation. The park became haunted, not by ghosts, but by memory.
The girls were found in a shallow den, hidden beneath leaves and branches. It was a place they might have played in, but it was turned into a grave. The image of them, curled together as if seeking comfort, is one that never left the minds of those who saw it.
It's the kind of detail that stays with you, not just the violence, but the tenderness of their final moments. It's unbearable, and yet it's what makes their story so important to tell.
Now let's dive into the investigation and take a look at the first trial. The Sussex police launched what would become their biggest and longest running case. Suspicion quickly fell on Russell Bishop, a local man with a history of violence. He was arrested and charged, but in 1987 he was acquitted.
The acquittal was devastating. The evidence was circumstantial, and forensic science wasn't there yet. In the absence of justice, suspicion turned inward. Nicola's father was even arrested, though later released.
The trial was chaotic. Witnesses changed their stories, evidence was mishandled, and Bishop's girlfriend at the time provided an alibi that would later be proven false. But in 1987, it was enough to set him free.
And that freedom had consequences. Just 3 years later, Bishop abducted another young girl, left her for dead, and was finally convicted. It was a brutal reminder of what happens when justice fails.
For the families, the pain was compounding. Not only had they just lost their daughters, but they had to live with the knowledge that their killer was still out there and had struck again since their murders.
It's a kind of grief that mutates over time. It becomes anger, guilt, helplessness. And it doesn't just affect the families. It affects the entire community.
What was the city's boogeyman? For children growing up in Brighton, The Babes in the Wood became a cautionary tale, a boogeyman story rooted in reality. The park was avoided. The names were spoken with reverence and fear.
I've worked with people who grew up in similar environments. The case shaped their childhoods. It wasn't just about safety. It was about trust. The idea that someone could do this and walk free was terrifying.
And then, of course, there's the media coverage, which only amplified that fear. The case became mythologized, but the pain was very real.
Unresolved trauma doesn't just affect families. It ripples through the entire communities. It shapes how people raise their children, how they view authority, how they process grief.
And yet, through all of it, Brighton never forgot Nicola and Karen. Their names were etched into the city's memory. Tributes were laid at the park, banners hung on anniversaries, and the community carried their loss like a scar.
And then justice. Finally, in 2018, over 30 years later, Russell Bishop was finally convicted. Advances in DNA technology linked him definitely to the crime. The evidence was a medical certainty. Justice came, but it came late.
Breakthrough came when Bishop's girlfriend admitted she had lied during the original trial. Combined with new forensic techniques, the case was reopened, and this time, the truth held.
It's a testament to perseverance, to the families who never stopped fighting, to the officers who kept the files open, and to the scientists who gave us the tools to see what we couldn't before.
But William, surely it also raises questions. Why did it take so long? How many lives were affected in the interim? And what does justice mean when it arrives decades too late?
It means closure, yes, but it also means reckoning with the system, with the silence, with the pain that was allowed to fester.
If this episode moved you, please share it, like and subscribe, and most importantly, carry Nicola and Karen's names forward. Let their story be a reminder that justice must be pursued, not just in courtrooms, but in conversations, communities, and in culture.
And if you want to go deeper into the minds behind the crimes, I invite you to explore my work. I co-host Death Row Diaries, a podcast that takes you inside the psychology of serial killers from a perspective few others can offer. You can also follow Unsolved No More, Redemption from Death Row on YouTube, where we break open cold cases and challenge everything you thought you knew about criminal profiling. There's also my new Instagram account, Dead Body Society. I'm also opening a new YouTube channel called Dead Body Society as well. So check me out.
And don't miss Williams's book, Through the Lens of a Monster, the book that changes crime. This isn't just another true crime book, it's a seismic shift, a groundbreaking investigation that solves 5 previously unknown serial killer murders and redefines what it means to be a profiler, written by someone who lived among the monsters and earned their trust. This book changes how we understand the darkest minds and how we seek justice.
Yes, Through a Lens of a Monster is the culmination of decades of research, lived experience, and the relentless pursuit of truth. It's not just about solving crimes. It's about changing the way we think about them. I'm proud to say it's already helping investigators, families, and readers see the unseen. Also, check out my free newsletter. You can sign up for it at my other Instagram account, william.noguera.art, or on my website, williamnoguera.com.
I'm grateful to have had you with us today, William. Your insight, compassion, and experience bring a depth to this case that few others could offer. Thank you for your time, your voice, and your dedication to truth.
Thank you, Oakley. It's been a privilege to honor Nicola and Kieran's memory with you.